Oh my goodness, I did not expect this. Breaking. Ex-husband charged with murder in the deaths of the Wineland Park couple. So now we know this is the Columbus Dispatch. Today is January 10th, 1:35 p.m. Eastern. This story was written. It says the ex-husband of a woman found shot to death with her new husband, December 30th. Wow, they're calling Spencer Tepe her new husband, but they were nearly married. Oh my goodness, almost 5 years. So this Michael David McKee faces 2 counts of murder according to Franklin County Municipal Court documents. Wow, we've done a lot about him. I'm so surprised. Why would he do this? All these years after being divorced, we went over his divorce paperwork. Columbus police have not publicly identified a suspect or a potential motive in the couple's deaths. I'm just flabbergasted. The couple's 2 young children, both under the age of 5, were found physically unhurt inside the home. I just don't understand. So we know all about the well-being checks, the body cam footage, the officer accidentally going to that 1417. I guess it was on Summit Street instead of the 1411 North 4th Street. My goodness. They talk about the person of interest. It's a breaking story. It will be updated. I can't believe this. Tomorrow is the public visitation for the Tepe's. Why would he do this? What we learned previously about Michael David McKee, and right now they seem to be the only mainstream media reporting about him, but in this video here, we went over the entire divorce decree, the 55-page court document, and nothing seemed to scream murder to me. Of course, it's always a possibility, but I didn't see anything. I know she left him. Oh my goodness. Pretty quickly, she filed for divorce. This is horrible. Everything I went over here was speaking about the surprise in the court documents, the fact that she bought her own rings, and that's him, and I mean a seemingly successful doctor, a vascular surgeon, who would do that? Yeah, that's him. Congratulations to Dr. and Mrs. McKee. So they were married, but the thing that shocked me was it was such a quick marriage, and I go over the older photos I've found of them. They obviously dated for a while. I was trying to debunk the Michael David McKees getting mixed up with other Michael David McKees in the same area or around Ohio. But I never found, I didn't have it given to me at this point, if there were any previous domestic violence or anything like that reports. I hadn't received them yet. My goodness. Why would he do this? I don't understand. I'm just in so much shock. I don't understand why, after they were divorced years ago and she's moved on, I was debunking fake news. So now we have to know, we have to know what's true or what's not. So this fake news, when the 4-year-old pointed to a photo of her mother's ex-husband, I still don't think that's true. Who would have a photo of their ex-husband anywhere? But now these search terms for Michael David McKee, they're going to go through the roof. Breakout, surgeon. Imagine what the searches are going to be now. But all the surprises we found in the background, and, we can go over the 55-page document again. I didn't see anything to me that screamed he would do this, but we don't know what the dynamic was. Was he pining away for her all these years? He lived in Roanoke, Virginia, and I guess he moved around with his surgical career, but oh my goodness, I found no proof in any court records of him having a violent past, which of course you don't need a violent past in order to commit such a heinous double homicide, but how did he get in the house? Where was he arrested? Allegedly, he was brought into custody in Illinois. I want to check Vine link, see if I can find him there. I'm just in shock. People knew, people were pointing fingers. I'm going to want to keep searching. Oh my goodness, look at this. Wow. 39. I can still capture, I think, while I'm recording. I am just flabbergasted. Okay, custody status date today, January 10th, 12:04 p.m. Central Time. So that just happened about 50 minutes ago. In custody, Winnebago County Jail, Rockford, Illinois. Oh my goodness. Hopefully we can get a mugshot. Hopefully we can get some kind of info. This is just so shocking. McKee. Oh, there he is. I'm sorry. This is not the way I normally do it, but I am blown away. Look how evil he looks. Next court date, January 12th. So that's Monday. Hold out of state. Oh my goodness, 200 pounds. He looks so different than their wedding photos. No bail. He will have to get extradited if he doesn't fight it. 39, 6 feet 1 inches tall, white male, hazel eyes, brown hair. Compare this look. I mean, look at this man's face. Compared to the wedding. Who would give up such a career? There he was there when they were young. And it was back in 2017 or something? No, 2016, 2012. I had found proof that they had been dating, I think at least since 2012. And he looked so much different. March 2016. Yeah, Monique wanted to separate. She wanted to get away from him. Of course, I had heard rumors that, it was quick. She wanted to get away from him. I mean, a 6-week quick divorce, and 7 months after they were married, they're separating, and she wanted to get away from him. They were married August 22nd, 2015. But who would ever expect, seemingly a doctor with this stature, this beautiful wedding? She bought her own rings. I know a lot of you guys commented that was a red flag. Maybe there was some kind of urgency, and she bought her own wedding and engagement rings. I mean, the one thing I didn't like was that stipulation that Michael put in the divorce papers, and, he was pro se. Okay, there it is. She's like, I paid my own rings. And she wanted to keep her Jeep Grand Cherokee, of course. Separating only 7 months after marriage, I knew it had to be something more than just, she was lonely, living in Virginia, being away from her family. I knew it had to be something urgent. But I still don't have any documentation. I need to go to the Franklin County court documents. I still didn't see any documentation of any violence. Wow. Oh, here it is, the new case, the 2026 case. State of Ohio versus Michael David McKee. Warrant issued. Wow. Thank God they found him. Thank God they got the culprit. So is that where he was living? In Chicago? This is crazy. Yeah, you would expect him to live in a pretty nice location. So he was just kind of hiding out. Why would he do this? He wanted to, oh boy, parties, charges, murder. Warrant issued. Now it's closed because they have him in custody. So we will, image of complaint. They won't, I don't know if we can get these. I think there's another Franklin County criminal records. I remember there's a different one. Case information. This one. Is this where I am? I know there were a couple of places I was looking. I am just floored. It makes no sense to me, of course, because we are logical people. Indictment, date of birth, filed. I'm looking for the new filings. Any 26 filings? Not showing up there. Appeals case. I don't want to be in the appeals. It just makes no sense. This man, did he just hold a torch for Monique, and did he blame her for ruining his life or something? I don't see it here. Personal injury, 17. None of these cases filed. These look old. I wish you could search. I really wish we could search by the case. Anyway, we'll keep looking, but he looks completely evil. It'll be interesting to see what has happened with his life in the time that he divorced. Well, rather, Monique divorced him. Warrant created. My goodness. Administrative warrant closed. I'll see what other documents I can get on this. Overview, docket, charges, everything. Overview, alerts, defendant info, parties. Yeah, I heard he was in Illinois. So did he drive over here? over to Columbus in the middle of the night or something? Was that really him walking in that video? It could have been. I mean, did he look like 6 feet 1 inches tall, 200 pounds? I haven't seen any wedding video of them or him walking to compare the walk. I'm flabbergasted. I'm just flabbergasted. That's what I went over. Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, their divorce. You know, everybody should disclose fully. I did hear some wayward rumor that he had a 401k or something that Monique didn't know about. Now that's just a rumor. So could this have been him walking? Does this look like a guy who's 6 feet 1 inches tall, 200 pounds potentially? I have no words. I'm just shocked. I mean, to me, who wouldn't just go on with their life? Who wouldn't just, whatever was happening, who wouldn't just go on with their lives, their life as a doctor? I mean, all his education, all of his knowledge. Who wouldn't just go on with their life? I mean, who would come to the home of their ex-wife and her new husband that she's been married to for almost 5 years, these 2 beautiful children? So he's looking down. That could be a 6 feet 1 inch tall, 200-pound man, I guess. Especially since his looks have changed so much, in my opinion. Monique is pretty tall, I realized. She's like 6 feet tall, which I didn't really realize until I, looked more, and I thought, oh, that's why she's wearing those beautiful flats, because I'm pretty tall too. Oh, my goodness. What beautiful lives he took away. This is nuts. So he could be about 6'1". I want to compare their photos again. The height at their wedding. And so was he pining away? Did he think, okay, Monique has the life. She has this life now that should have been with me. Was he blaming Monique for leaving him? And did he ever remarry anyone and have children with anyone? Is that why he went there allegedly, took both of them out so violently, left the children alive as a way to punish those kids? You know what I mean? Leaving them orphans, so to speak, even though they have plenty of love and family around them. Was that his motive? Will we ever know? What a sick, sick man. My goodness. Oh, okay. I'll see what else I can find out. I know there had been rumors about him, but of course, I wasn't going to say much. There he is. Okay, I'm checking out their height. I wanted to see if she had heels on. Their height was similar. He looks kind of angry there, but, he was doing his surgical work. This is crazy. I wasn't going to implicate, of course, or blame this man for nothing, for anything, until I had any hard evidence. Well, now he's been charged, of course, not convicted yet. Thank God. Columbus police, they were trying to keep quiet. Yeah, ex-husband charged. They were trying to keep quiet about this man. My goodness. I'm just so blown away. They wanted to keep quiet. Date of birth, June 29th. That's him, 1986. That's how I was able to confirm the correct person. Lincoln Park. Beautiful. The zoo is probably really close by. Look at that. So that's where he was living. So he wasn't doing that bad off, was he? What's this apartment again? So we don't have anything about him here yet. Maybe until they are able to bring him in. And when they can extradite him. But I want to see again how he was living. Since, of course, I'm familiar with Chicago. We'll come back to that. Is this the Pierre? Oh, the Pierre, New York. No, the Pierre Condominium Complex in Chicago. So that's where he was living, 12D. So is it like condos Maybe he was living, it's like condos. What's this? Lincoln Park plus a hotel. 12. Is that the 12th floor? I wonder how many floors. Was he living in the penthouse or no? Stroll from the beach. A very nice place. Why? I just don't understand when people ruin other lives and blow up their own lives. The Pierre. I don't know if I know this place. It probably used to be something else, but they have a pool on the roof. 12 stories. Yeah, he was in the penthouse. If this is the Pierre, and I'm counting up the stories, if he was on the 12th floor, he had a nice penthouse apartment. What was going so wrong with his life? I mean, I don't get it. Why couldn't he move on in Chicago and meet someone else and get married if he wasn't already? Why not get married? You living in Chicago, and I mean, the lake is right here. I see what they mean. You walk over Lake Michigan. This goes all the way. You can just run, bike, rollerblade, whatever. John Hancock Center there. Go all the way around. It goes all the way down to the south side. You can go so far north on that path. There are so many people in Chicago to meet. I don't understand. Why was he so hung up on Monique and her life being so happy? Was he just pining away for her? Over the years? And what his life could have been? I mean, I get it. He probably loved her, but this is just not what you do. You don't hurt so many people by doing that. And was he still a vascular surgeon? I mean, how was his surgical career going? Or was something going on? Was he involved in substances? What on earth? It defies logic to me. Because to me, if you're a relatively good-looking person, tall, handsome, a surgeon in Chicago, you could almost have your pick of the litter, but to be hung up on your ex-wife who's obviously moved on makes absolutely no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. Now what? You know, if he's convicted, if he is found guilty of this, and then he's locked away, Monique and Spencer are gone, and their children grow up thankfully surrounded by a loving family, but not with their parents. Whew. I better just close it out here. Oh, all of these would apply. But I've been reading a lot of Proverbs. Very wise. Proverbs 14:11. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. Very, very true. I mean, look at this guy. The people who wished them well and attended their wedding, and, you know, wasn't it at a Catholic church? Is he a supposed believer in God or Christ? You can tell how blown away I am. Look at that. Like, I know pictures don't mean everything, of course. They don't belie the truth, but I'd never expected to see it go from those gorgeous wedding pictures to here, him in custody, in the jail, and looking like a crazy person in a mugshot. Let me end it there. We'll see what other documents I can get. Whew. Hopefully his arrest videos. We shall see. Thank you so much for watching.